probably should go live on Twitch too. So I'll connect to Twitch. We're gonna go live on Twitch too. I got y'all early, Twitch. So now, today, right now, I should say, we're gonna listen to, who is this? This is CBS News, and that they said prosecutors have finished up their questioning, which means tomorrow, day 4, the defense starts their questioning. Okay, so here we go. This is CBS News. Here we go.
Ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in the hip-hop mogul sex trafficking. Prosecutors have finished their questioning of Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in the hip-hop mogul. Prosecutors have finished their questioning of Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in the hip-hop mogul sex trafficking and racketeering trial in New York City. I want to warn viewers that some may find the details in this report disturbing.
Okay.
The singer says she felt
here goes the details. Let's go.
One incident she described on the stand. Ventura claims that Combs allegedly threatened to blackmail her with videos from the so-called freak-offs after he found out that she was dating rapper Kid Cudi during a break from their 10-year relationship in 2011. The 38-year-old singer also addressed the physical abuse she claims she sustained, including incidents that left her with bruises and a permanent eyebrow scar. Ventura also described an alleged violent encounter with Combs that occurred at the late singer Prince's house.
Man.
The defense
will
begin its cross-examination of Ventura on Thursday. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges, including racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted, he faces up to life in prison. For more, let's bring in CBS News national correspondent Drika Duncan, who is inside the courtroom. Drika, thank you for being here. Very graphic testimony again today.
Yeah.
And we did hear testimony about that incident that many people have seen now, the 2016 hotel altercation that took place at the Intercontinental in Los Angeles. Cassie says after that, she told Combs, quote, "Please stay far away from me." Last half of her testimony Wednesday focused on how she handled the alleged abuse. What do you want to tell us?
So as far as how we even got here.
So from other news that I saw, they said that the questioning was really like redundant and boring. I don't know how that's gonna play to the jury, and I don't know what that really means in like real life. Like you're just asking the same question, she just keeps saying the same thing, and apparently from the stories I see, not from me, is that it's just more like abuse talk and not really illegal talk. Although abuse is not right. I mean, you could probably go to jail for abuse as well, but I don't think it's like a federal case.
We really learned that last like 5 minutes or so, where she describes 2023 being a time where she went to rehab. She said this was after an incident where she said, "I didn't want to be alive." This is her words. "I didn't want to be alive at this point." She was shooting a music video, and she said she thought back to what she says she experienced, and she had these flashbacks. She says, "I remember coming home to my children and my husband and looking at my husband and saying, 'You can do this without me.'" She describes walking into traffic. She then says through the rehab, she started writing. And when she was finished with all of the writing, she had a book. Because she had this book, she said, "You know what? I wanted to share it with Sean Combs. I wanted him to, quote, understand what he put me through." She said in court, "I was 22. I would have done anything for him. I did, but it just seemed like it wasn't enough." So she reached out to the chief of staff of Sean Combs, according to Ventura, and that chief of staff told her that...
Whoa, that's heavy. We're going to go back a little bit and hear that again, all right? Because that's heavy. But it's also not explaining something illegal, but it's still painting a picture of like how she felt about what he did to her, right?
Here
we go.
And my husband, and looking at my husband and
we gotta
thought
go
back to what she says she experienced. And she had these flashbacks. She says, "I remember coming home to my children and my husband and looking at my husband and saying, 'You can do this without me.'" She describes walking into traffic. She then says through the rehab, she started writing. And when she was finished with all of the writing, she had a...
All right. So she's talking about like how he made her, like it's just still painting him in such a bad light.
"I remember coming home to my children and my husband and looking at my husband and saying, 'You can..."
Wait, is that Look at this in the background. Is that a picture from the freak off? That seems like that same image, right? All right, like stay with me real quick. This image right here, that she's on the stand, they're showing pictures of her and Diddy at like a thing. This is the thing they went to like a day after, but this is the day before where it was the freak off that he like, did the thing in the hotel. I wonder if that's like the main evidence, which he settled for, which I don't, I don't know legal shit, but like, you know what I mean? I'm wondering like what is happening. Anyway, let me get back to it. Let's get back to it.
Coming home to my children.
How many people we got on TikTok? We got like 50 people on TikTok. Shout out to y'all. Yo, let me say hi to people. Let me see. Bang, bang, bang. Yo, what up? What up, Bree? What up, Christy? What up, Pamela? You know what I mean? Jaguar Biz, what up? Janice, what up? Karina, ¿qué pasa? You know what I'm saying? Nancy, rah. All right, we good. We're going back to it.
And my husband, and looking at my husband and saying, you can do this without me. She describes walking into traffic. She then says, through the rehab, she started.
Walking into traffic is crazy. And then she went to rehab, and that's when she started writing her book.
Writing. And when she was finished with all of the writing, she had a book.
And she wasn't writing a book. When she was finished with all her writing, she had a book. She had enough. She wrote so much about her stories that she had a book.
Because she had this book, she said, you know what? I wanted to share it with Sean Combs. I wanted him to, quote, understand.
That's the part I'm like, wow, you wanted to share with him? Like, yo, this book is about all the messed up stuff you did to me.
And what he put.
That's the part that I'm like, really? I mean, I understand why, but I'm also like, damn, that's kind of cold. Because you should just share your book and be like, yo, this was. Anyway, I feel like I'm giving an opinion. But this is just my opinion on this like strategy of the book. It's not my opinion on the case. I have no opinion on the case. Everything I'm hearing so far is crazy work, right? Y'all hear it. It's not good. Anyway, let's keep going.
Me through. She said in court, I was 22. I would have done anything for him.
And now we're see, now like context is coming. She was 22. She was such a young girl. Like, come on, like at 22, like as a young man myself at 22, you know what I mean? I was very still impressionable, didn't really know what like life was. And I feel like that's going to come into play too. She was such a young girl. She look how like, energetic and full of life she looks.
And I did, but it just seemed like it wasn't enough. So she reached out to the chief of staff of Sean Combs, according to Ventura, and that chief of staff told her that Combs was not taking this book seriously. She then said that she was offering the rights to her story for $30 million. She said, quote, I didn't do research. I just picked a number I thought would.
She wanted $30 million for her book. She didn't pick a number.
Alert him. And then, as many of us now know.
Wait, okay. This is almost important, but this is the prosecutors bringing that up just to be like, we already talked about that.
Rights to her.
They're going to object when they bring this up. The prosecutor's going to be like, objection. We already talked about that in the, whatever round.
Story for $30 million.
I gotta go back a little.
Told her that Combs was not taking this book seriously. She then said that she was offering the rights to her story for $30 million.
Okay.
She said, quote, I didn't do research. I just picked a number I thought would alert him.
So selling the rights to her story, like so somebody can pick it up for $30 million. She thought it was a number that could be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? That's a number that he can be like, damn, well, I'll give you 30 for it and then I'll buy it, bury it, and bang, we out. You know what I'm saying? That's what he thought. But it was probably still the okie doke because she could still write a different story with more information.
And then, as many of us now know, November 2023 comes. This,
I I feel like I'm talking like bad about Cassie. Man, look, listen, Cassie, I'm so sorry about what you went through. If you ever watch this stream, which I doubt it, but if you ever do, man, I'm so sorry about what you went through. Because man, I'm updated on what's going on, and it's not good, and I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better at this point in your life.
A lawsuit that had many people going, oh my gosh, wait, what is going on here? And so many details were put out in that civil suit. It was settled within 24 hours. We learned today in court,
Wow.
The prosecution said, and how much was that settlement for? She said $20 million.
So they wound up selling for $20 million. We didn't know that. We thought it was like 30, 40, 50, right? But it was 20. Oh, shit. Let's go. Some shit we didn't know. Let's go.
And then the prosecutor asked her, why are you testifying at this trial? She said, quote, I can't carry this anymore. The shame, the guilt, the pain. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong.
So she got 20 still. Lawyers probably got 9 to 8, so she got like 12. I'm not pocket watching, but everybody thought it was like 20 to 50 million, but it was 20 million. It wasn't enough, Diddy. It wasn't enough. I'm bugging. Let me calm down.
With the rehab, she had said on the stand that she had become addicted to opioids to sort of disassociate from what she had experienced, right?
Yeah, specifically.
Are you hearing this?
She had an on and off again
70
opiate addiction.
Out, let's go.
So she didn't put all of the blame, I guess, if you will, on Sean Combs in terms of providing the drugs to her all the time, because she admitted that there were times where she would just, use drugs with her friends and Combs was not around. But that seems to be some of the source of the pain that she's talking about that she experienced during the course of that nearly 11-year relationship.
We know this case is about an alleged criminal enterprise.
Right.
Okay, now they're going to go into it. So first of all, they talk about an alleged criminal enterprise. The RICO. So let's see what they have to say about that. Look at her face, first of all. You see her face? She's like, You know that face. Her face right now is saying, we about to get into the criminal shit. Let's see what she has to say, because her face is saying this is going to be like a twist.
Fueled by Combs' alleged sexual desires. What, if anything, did we learn that speaks to that?
Yeah, so RICO, racketeering influence of corrupt organization, has to do with someone leading a criminal enterprise and other people also being a part of that for whatever that criminal act is. In this case, it states in the indictment to pursue his sexual desires through fraud, coercion, and threatening someone. So kidnapping is sort of one of those. It falls in the element of that. And we heard that based on her testimony when she says in 2009, she got into a fight with Combs. Her mother actually said, I saw something on the internet about this. She knew, Combs was important in her life, even at that point. She said, is this you? And Ventura says no. She denied it. But she said during that time, she was forced to be in a hotel for about a week, and she couldn't leave. She said, I wanted to go home. I told Sean I wanted to go home, as she refers to him in court. I told some of his handlers I wanted to go home, but they said I had to stay there. So you have that as a potential element that prosecutors will look at that when they probably do their closing argument. And then fraud, the prescription drugs. She expressed that Combs knew a lot of, or had a good relationship with doctors, and whether it was his name or her name or other.
So the first one was the kidnapping. This is the fraud.
Other employees that they would write the prescription for, because obviously it's a red flag if a doctor continues to write prescriptions for Percocet or oxycodone or whatever it is for the same person. So that kind of was a hint to me to one of the elements, because we've heard about the abuse, but it really comes down to this crime, and we expect the defense will be questioning her about what they claim in the opening of their statements, that this was a toxic relationship. This was not criminal.
But also, is it part of the racketeering case that she testified to the fact that employees and people around him were complicit and aiding in this alleged behavior?
100%. I mean, she names a guy, D-Rock, who was with security, who cried, she said, when she...
D-Rock is a security guard.
Was just beat up by Combs, and he found her. She talks about a woman who brought her ice cream because she felt bad after a beating. So she's naming a number of people within his staff that she says she was familiar with that were sort of aiding and helping to keep things hush-hush, that others knew had to do more with the domestic violence, but knew that that was happening. So.
This is heavy. I told y'all this was heavy stuff. I feel so bad for her, man. Like, I gotta be honest. I feel so bad for her. She went through a lot. Man.
Examination tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's a really, really tough case to listen to, but
yes.
Here we are.
Jerika Duncan, thank you.
Man,
I wonder
so, like, wow.
if Honeybook has...
I don't know what you guys think, man. Like, that was the update that that we got. Let's see, like,
and that
Academics usually has a decent update. I'm gonna check him before we get out of here. All right, I'm gonna check Academics. Hold on. Academics. Let's see. Is he still live? No, he ain't live. Yo, he was live for 11 hours today. Listen, do you guys understand that? The dedication? Yo, I like him or not, all right? I like him. I think he's a dope streamer or podcaster. He encompasses all that, right? He's a streamer, podcaster, like reporter. He's all of that into one. That's why he's one of the reasons why I do this, because I've been listening to him so long. And I just started doing this like literally like this year. Yo, man, listen, streaming for 11 hours is dedication, bro. I'm sorry. We got to give it up. I don't care like who you are, but look, here goes the stream on YouTube right here. Look, he streamed for 11 hours and 17 minutes.
Okay.
What are we talking about right now?
Everybody's not back in court. We are ready, locked and loaded. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I just had to give him a shout out. I just have
Welcome,
to.
my people.
Yeah, let's go.
Kick, I see y'all in the building. Rumble, I see y'all in the building.
So he's in Kick, Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm on Twitch. I'm on Ticker the Talker. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we lit. All right, I'm a fast forward though. Act. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna like take it like shave an hour off real quick.
She's in fear of him. He's beating her. He's intimidating her. Doesn't seem like sex trafficking, even though I know you guys might.
Y'all can hear it on TikTok.
I don't think that's like black and white sex trafficking or at least a racketeering enterprise for sex trafficking. But we don't know what fully the prosecutor has to play.
So right? Inner City Press is the one giving the updates. Shout out to Inner City Press.
AUSA says, in this photo, what were you wearing? She says, a gown and sunglasses. I had a black eye. AUSA says, what if any other bruising was visible? She says, I had several bruising on my leg, but I changed clothes. She says, what is this? Me and Sean at the after party. And I guess they went to an event the day after, right? I think we looked at that.
Thank you for the light. I see the hearts. Thank you for that.
Red carpet with bruises. I think Page 6 had published it, saying this was Cassie on the red carpet just 2 days after the attack.
I don't see.
Apparently,
I don't see the bruises in the picture, but
they were showing bruising that was supposedly.
I do
on
see
her
a
legs.
red mark. I don't see a. Oh, okay.
They felt like there was bruising here.
I don't know. It's hard to tell from the pictures they're showing. I gotta be honest.
Somebody said it is. Read the definition. Okay, let's actually play a video because
like, you can pause that.
I don't know if you've seen what Boosie said.
I'll go back for y'all. You know what I mean, real quick. If y'all watching this, look.
They were showing bruising,
and I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause it for y'all. You know what I mean? Like here, I do see a red mark. Okay, but they said bruising. Like bruising is usually black and blues. I'm just not technically seeing it. I feel like bruises on. Maybe I'm not. I got bad eyes too. I need glasses. I wear these because this light is bright. So you know what? Let's just not even talk about it because I don't want to act like I know what the hell I'm talking about and talk about this situation like that. All right. Anyway, I'm commenting just so y'all can like get a vibe. All right, here we go. Keep going, Act.
They felt like there was bruising here.
Hold on. I gotta get Act back in the picture.
Okay, let's actually play a video because I've seen Boosie say it. I don't know if you've seen what Boosie said.
There we go.
Boosie Twitter.
Yeah.
And I know
what did Boosie say, Act? What did Boosie say, Act?
Come on. Boosie says, if anything, this should be a domestic violence case, not a sex trafficking case. She enjoyed the wild sex parties and extravagant gifts on the back end. All of these years of sex parties, and you mean to tell me she didn't enjoy it? I'm convinced she enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure she came during those freak-offs. So he's saying she climaxed. It was a lifestyle. This was consensual. She was his girlfriend, trying to give someone life in prison for this bullshit, okay? Now, let's get to... let me try to find a definition of sex trafficking or racketeering sex trafficking.
All right, yeah, that's a good idea. Act. Good idea.
Sex trafficking. Let's see if we need to find a definition. We need to find a definition, Jack.
You gotta type a definition. Nah, you gotta go into. You're on YouTube, bro.
That's the thing. Is this human trafficking? Human trafficking and sex trafficking are kind of like slightly similar, isn't it? But you know, sex trafficking is more towards.
He's on YouTube. He wants
the purpose of sex, while human trafficking.
Yeah, we should go to like he should have went to like Wikipedia. I feel like I should do it for him.
Why do they have this? Oh, this is a crazy like thumbnail.
Come on, what do you got? What do you got, bro?
Oh, trafficking in the law. It's an hour long. We can't.
Ghislaine Maxwell's trial was a win for victims.
That's not it, bro.
Just only on sex trafficking.
Trafficking has really only been paid attention by first piece of trafficking because they may not speak the language of the country that they're in, or they may in general than people who might.
The law.
Yeah, let's go.
California has the 7th highest rate of human trafficking in the United States.
A lot of this happened in LA, so we'll use, even though it's a state law or a state.
I'll take this.
Let's try to get an understanding. 4 minutes. It's a 4-minute video. Then we're getting right back to the testimony. We're trying to understand sex trafficking a little bit more.
I understand that. Let's make that.
That's like sex trafficking.
0.8 trafficking victims in California.
In this case.
Yo, and by the way, Act. Listen, if you're like, yo, this nigga jacking my whole stream, I am, but I'm also learning from you, bro. All right, Pete, I'm learning from you, bro. You know what I mean? Now I know I can go like the other day I went and found my own sources. Like I'm learning how you find these sources. Like so, I'm learning, bro. You know what I mean?
Again,
respect.
Domestic violence or sex trafficking, maybe there's
100,000 civilians. Considering that there are close to 39.54 million people in the state, according to the 2020 census, the estimate translates to
so this is the explanation of what sex trafficking is, just in case you don't know. And we're giving Diddy updates right now. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the people that joined. Yo, make sure y'all share this shit.
Depriving someone of their freedom
to obtain forced labor or services from them. So, okay, I hear what you guys are saying, because I said, well, a lot of this sounds like domestic violence, but it becomes sex trafficking if we then believe the theory that the violence and whatever other control that Diddy have over Cassie was solely to force her to do freak-offs, and she did not want to do freak-offs, right? So that would be, I guess, trafficking, right?
Is from them. Depriving someone of their freedom with the intent of violating California's pimping and pandering laws, child pornography laws, laws against exploitation and blackmail, or other laws concerning sexual activity and sexual exploitation of children, or persuading or attempting to persuade a minor to engage in sexual activity